Hello. Okay, this is a twin flame message. Don't romanticize the relationship. When I first found out, I was starting to read tarot. I was learning. I bought my first deck, and I bought my first deck when he was still here, when we were still together. We went to Barnes and Noble one day, and I bought my first deck. I don't know. Okay, Spirit wants me to talk about transformation because I got my my moonstone. My moonstone. I can't even think of the name right now. Anyway, wants me to talk about my transformation. I changed. I went through a transformation. I healed. I romanticized the connection in the beginning and just forgot everything that he had done to me. And you shouldn't do that. I can't get this name out. I can't. Yeah, duh. My Moldavite. I was like, what? My Moldavite. Anyway, I couldn't think of the name. Anyway, transformation. So I went through this huge transformation. I did what I did. I learned. But when I first found out, I romanticized the connection. My coach at that time told me about everything that she was like, don't romanticize it. And I was like, So you might be romanticizing. And I heard gender. It doesn't matter if you have a hoo-ha or a hee-haw. So gender is irrelevant. It doesn't matter if you are a man or a woman. It doesn't matter if you are LGBT. It doesn't matter if you are you can be a masculine woman, you can be a feminine man. It doesn't matter. Gender, tarot doesn't know gender, so it's just the role, especially when it comes to divine masculine, divine feminine. The soul split. So one of you is more feminine, one of you is more masculine, and it doesn't have to be the guy is the more masculine. It could be the guy is more feminine, the girl is more masculine. It doesn't matter. It could be two women, it could be two men. We are both men. But because we are both men, we balance each other's masculine and feminine. Sometimes he's the feminine. And, okay, so romanticizing the connection, throwing everything out the window about everything that he had just did. He had just cheated to break up our family. We had just gotten married after being together for 9 years. So I was like, oh my God, my twin flame. And I just forgot everything that he just did to me. No, boundaries. That is an unhealed feminine. You do not let people trample on your Sixth Amendment. What? What's the Sixth Amendment? Second Amendment? Sixth Amendment. Hold on a second. The right to a speedy trial. Guilt? I just seen 416, your stability. Something that he did to me was try to, like, he was my stability, and if, when you lose your masculine, you almost lose your sense of security. And your guilt, and lose your sense of security. Being torn in two different directions. He was torn in two different directions between me and the karmic. He felt guilty, and somebody was making him feel guilty. He felt guilty about leaving me, but he went over here because somebody was telling him something. There was some kind of unfair dynamic, and it's the karmic, because the karmic was a homewrecker, is a homewrecker. But I just completely forgot about everything that he did. I was like, oh my god, my twin flame. And then, like, no. So, unhealed feminines overgive. They, even when they shouldn't. And the unhealed masculine, oh, that was the other thing I was going to talk about. The unhealed masculine, hold on 1 second. The unhealed masculine traits. Okay. Unhealed, he has a need to dominate or win at all costs. His control is disguised as protection or leadership. 555, I just seen that. Struggles when they're not in charge. Emotionally, he avoids vulnerability feelings because he thinks that makes him weak. Intellectualizes pain instead of feeling it. Difficulty expressing needs or fear. His ego leads him to identity tied to status, success, or being admired. Craves respect but doesn't know how to give emotional safety. Easily threatened, defensive, prideful. Constantly doing, fixing, chasing, never being. He doesn't live in the moment. Hustle used to avoid inner work. He hyper focuses on money. Burnout cycles, anger when things slow down. Fear of the feminine, fear of his inner feminine, discomfort with his intuition, emotion, receptivity, labels emotional expression as drama or irrational. Labels emotional expression as drama or irrational. Push-pull dynamic in relationship. Sex is used for validation or control. Difficulty with true intimacy. Attraction without presence or commitment. He never wants to commit. He runs from, mine is literally in a poly after being monogamous with me for almost a decade. Runs from conflict or accountability, does not want to be held accountable. Ghosting, disappearing, emotional stonewalling, blames others rather than self-reflecting. Self-reflection is a problem, I guess. Grounded leadership. When he's healed, the same masculine energy becomes grounded leadership, emotional strength, protective without control, decision yet compassionate, safe, steady presence. So he goes from unhealed to healed. But Spirit, what does the collective need to know? What does the collective need to know? He ends that conflict, very sure of himself. He ends that conflict, that emotional coldness. He controls it. He controls it because, look, King and Queen of Wands, because he'll realize who you are. Not for everybody, but for you, yeah. But he controls that. That is what is between you. The King of Cups reversed and the Nine of Wands, he's guarded because he's emotionally cold. But what's the next card? The King and Queen of Wands. And he's avoiding that. He has an avoidant personality disorder because he wants to have sex with different people. That's his his insecurities. It's all because he's insecure. So his happily ever after, his marriage, it's all based on that insecurity. But he ends that conflict very sure of himself. King and Queen of Wands. King and Queen of Wands. So don't romanticize it. Gender is irrelevant. But remember what he did, because you need to hold up your boundaries so that he doesn't do that again. He won't change unless the reconciliation is possible. Definitely. It's just he's getting his karma for how he treated you. This is karmic justice. He learns from the karmic because he doesn't realize what's going on right now. But he's getting his karma from this person, from this karmic. Something that he has to learn or heal within himself. and you were supposed to hold the line. You're supposed to